talking about the D chord, right? It's really a D chord shape, but it's on fret number 7. And we're on, 7, 8, 7, but with the open D note in the bass. And then we use that G chord. It's a D on fret 7, which makes it a G chord, right? So we've got that nice G major 7 and G7. And then we have that nice G7 with a sus4 that we use a melodic note on fret 5 on the high E string, which is A, to let a voice lead down to that G note on top of the C chord. And then we kind of fall back down to the G. And then we use that little forward roll, sort of like reminiscent of the Leonard Skinner, one of the first songs we ever learned. And that we roll from open to 2 on the D string up to the open G string to A minor, and then walk right up to the G with the B in the bass to the C. And this is a really cool spot right here. Love it when we just kind of use that sus4 just to hang there. And then we release that, we resolve it back to the major, to C major, and then we walk down back to the G. And then we head back into the intro, which is the G with D in the bass, G major 7 with D in the bass, G7 with D in the bass, and then we use that little melodic device to work our way down to the C chord with a G on the top, finally landing on the G chord. A minor again walks up to the G and the B and the bass and the C. And then we do the sus4 and release back to the walk down to the G, which sets us up nicely for the chorus. A minor, and then 2, 3, 2 to the D, and then A minor to E minor, and then Forever Blue, right? Hang right on the D. And then there's this really cool like reminiscent of the Jon Bon Jovi, or so any sort of country sort of like guitar riff that's going to play the sixths and do this kind of nice thing. This descending pattern leads us nicely back to the intro. All right, so we've got that D chord, which basically falls from 14 on frets G string and high E string on frets 14, down a whole step to 12s. Oh, we can't go to 11s because that would make that D minor, right? So we've got to do 14, 12, both of them, and then we're offsetting. So we're lifting third finger up, hanging that first finger out, and we're sliding first one to the second one. The slide is a little bit challenging. We don't need to pick each one, we could, but it's that pizzicato really changes the quality of the session. It's supposed to be sort of a lilting transition back. Back to the intro. So it's 14s to 12s, 11s and 10, or 10s, 11s and 10s to 9s and 8, and then 7 to 5. And then we start over again. I'm glad you stuck this one out. This is one of my all-time favorite songs from one of my all-time favorite bar bands and one of my all-time favorite singers and all-time favorite guitar players, and just the band is amazing. So if you haven't heard the Little Willies yet, give them a listen. You're going to love it. Yeah. And if you have, give me a comment. Let me know some more about you. All right. See ya. And until next time, happy picking.